Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Time for another coffee chat. I thought I would do 2 of these. I still got coffee left. I'm sitting at my desk. Let's do a second one of these. Saw a bit of criticism coming through my stuff. And you know, I don't mind addressing real criticism every now and then. You know, when it's involving training, I don't care about make-believe nonsense. I don't care about make-believe nonsense. I don't think that I need to address crazy stuff that people make up. But let's talk about training. And this goes to show that oftentimes people who are critical of what I do don't even know how I train. And it's so strange. Like, people who think that they know things about me don't even know what my training looks like. I've been putting up vlogs for years. But, you know, I've had someone jump in and say, oh, you're switching to tens after years of just doing heavy triples and decades, and you expect something to change. Anyone who follows my vlogs is probably like, what? Blaha's been promoting tens for years and years and years. And I don't know where that idea comes from. Did I have a couple of phases at different points where I focused a lot on triples? Yes, but that's a pretty small chunk of my training history. Earlier on, my training when I was much younger was more geared, once I got through my novice stuff, you know, 20 rep squats and all that stuff, was definitely more geared towards power building, a lot of like 5 to 8 rep stuff, a lot of 5 to 8 rep stuff on a lot of big movements. But when I came back after being sick, because I had to take over 3 years off from training, I think people forget that is somewhat documented on my channel. Rebuilt myself from complete medical disability. I started with really high reps. I rebuilt mostly like 10 to 20 reps originally, right? And then I've gone through different conjugate phases, but I've always, most of the time I've even been on YouTube, I've always promoted doing at least some high rep work. In more recent years, and when I say recent years, let's say the last 5, right? The last 5 years or so, I have promoted that the majority of our work be up around 10 reps, right? The majority of our training, not all of it, because I've always said let's do some heavy stuff. Now, the funny thing is, anyone who's criticizing what I'm doing is not paying attention, because what I'm doing right now is working. How many people have come in and looked at pictures, vlogs, and recently are like, dude, I leave for a month and then I come back and what in the hell happened? There are posts of people from accounts that are 10-year-old accounts coming in making those statements. Like, what happened? I'm like, I went on a cut. Like a real cut, because everyone has this idea that I've been cutting for years. What do you mean? I didn't cut at all for a year. I did a very, very, very slow lean bulk for the last year. Gained some more muscle, gained some strength. I've been cutting like, what, 5 weeks? And I was like 214 this morning, so I'm down 13 pounds, 14 pounds. I was shocked. I whooshed overnight. I was down to 214 this morning. I'm on a cut finally, and I've said I'm going to stick this one through. And part of what I'm doing, yes, for now, I've kind of pulled the heavy workout, and I'm trying to do everything 8+, right? Trying not to let anything drift under about 8 reps. And even then, if it hits 8, it's why? Because I got fatigued. The weights I should be doing 10 or 12. But that happens. You know, I'm in a deficit. I'm in a calorie deficit. And I'm doing some fairly high volume training. So yeah, you're going to hit some fatigue in your workouts. I mean, that's what happens. Common sense, people. But that is the direction I'm going. And because I am needing to focus, I'm needing to focus a bit on body composition more. I've pulled myself away from that need to always have just pound heavy weights all the time, right? Because even when I've done some cutting in the past, I've always run some conjugate type stuff. I've always still hit my singles. And I'm at a point where I'm like, I have to, if I want to reach this current goal, which is to get down to a very, very lean body fat. And thank you for the people who've commented and complimented. A lot of people said, wow, this is the leanest you've ever looked. It's the most jacked you've ever looked in the shirtless stuff. In order to facilitate that, it requires certain levels of mental commitment to do whatever goals we're trying to achieve. And because I need to do that right now, again, this is stuff I've learned as a coach. Let's come back over and talk about long-term coaching. There are situations where we adjust people's programming for motivation, psychological reasons when they're doing different things, such as bulking, cutting, whatever they're doing. All right, and what I have found is that a lot of times when we're chasing body composition goals like that, particularly losing body fat, people tend to abandon their cuts or struggle on their cuts, because those of us who are strength oriented, because I care a hell of a lot about strength. So do a lot of my clients. Taking some time, okay, taking some time to where we say, look, I don't want to be focused on moving as much weight as possible. Now, if I can progress on a 10 rep max, hey, great. That's good. That means we're maybe getting some recomposition somewhere. That's a great thing. If we can get a little stronger in those 10 rep sets or whatever, all right, do it. But we're not beating ourselves up psychologically. We're not creating the extra stress of chasing the numbers. Because what happens is that can cause people to abandon a cut earlier before they reach their goals, myself included. Again, examples of us getting wiser over time. You know, experience as a coach, experience as a lifter, we should be learning and growing. We should be able to adjust our methods. We need to be able to accommodate things. And in that case, what I am doing is setting myself up for success on that particular goal. When I get to where I want to get, I can go back and reassess strength goals, figure out where I'm at, and start hitting some heavy weight again, start hitting some maxes again, and then build up from there, and that's fine. But in the meantime, it's just focus on body composition, quality reps, quality stimulus. I'm not freaking out about numbers. I can then focus on rep quality. Okay, instead of going, man, I'm down another 5 pounds, another 10 pounds on what I can lift. Focus on the rep quality. Just getting good quality work sets in that stimulates growth. Get those ranges of motion, get quality in. And it's letting me focus on that. So yes, that's why I'm doing, I'm calling it mostly 10s, but it's not. It's really like 8 to 18, but we'll just call it 10s, right? So that's what I'm doing, but it's fascinating because it's working. It's working. People are commenting. I had someone in my thing yesterday put up one of my things advertising for my coaching business. Oh, that's not you in the picture. Yeah, that's me. And that's not edited. That is, anyone who watches the vlogs knows those are direct screenshots that I put into a program just to make them into a collage. That is literally the exact same lighting. Nothing has changed from what's in the actual vlogs. You go through and screenshot those vlogs and compare. It's like, oh yeah, if you find those exact points, it's exactly what I'm looking like on camera, real time. Okay, day to day. So it's not like I'm pulling some water cut trickery because it's 4 days a week. You guys are watching me train shirtless 4 days a week. There's no way I can fake and peak for that. So I'm just going to keep getting leaner. And it's going to continue. I'm going to get a hell of a lot leaner. All right, guys. Well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. And I'll talk to you guys next time.